Before this video starts, I would like to give a spoiler warning. It's an analysis video. I don't know why you would click on this video not thinking there'd be spoilers. But in case you did, spoiler warning for Chainsaw Man. Makima's introduction in Chapter 1 of Chainsaw Man immediately caught my attention. She had a great design that included a set of very attention-grabbing eyes that stood out from the rest of the suit-wearing bozos we had seen earlier. She's introduced as somewhat of a savior to Denji, but we immediately get to see that she has a rather warped sense of kindness, as she doesn't waste any time telling Denji, a poor, starved, uneducated, and vulnerable young man, that he is her dog. She begins her manipulation of Denji from the very beginning of the series, allowing him to build up his confidence and get settled into a life he dreamed of, while simultaneously keeping him in check. She threatens him to have him euthanized if he ever goes against her absolute order. This makes her a rather terrifying but intriguing character at the same time. Who is Makima? Why does Aki hold her in such high regard? Why is Power seemingly terrified of her? Actually, why is literally everyone terrified of her? Throughout Chainsaw Man, Fujimoto drops various hints that point towards Makima being much more than a regular human being. From her lack of expressiveness whenever she's engaging in conversation, to her unnerving appearances at the end of arcs, Makima always has the reader questioning what's going on inside of her mind. She always shows up at just the right times, especially for Denji, and consoles him whenever he's down, to the point that Denji seeks her out during times of trouble, as seen when he goes to her apartment after Aki's death. Whenever Denji's heart is being led away from Makima, she always finds a way to rope him back in. After having an existential crisis about touching boobs, Denji receives advice from Makima when it comes to forming intimate relationships. After being vomited on as a first kiss, Denji receives an indirect kiss from Makima herself. After the Katana Man incident, Makima even offers to go on a date with Denji. When Denji goes through a mental crisis about falling in love again after Riza's death, Makima offers to go on a trip with him. After this traumatic experience with the Darkness Devil and dealing with taking care of Power, Denji receives the same offer from Makima again, and this goes on and on. We get to see this type of manipulation with other characters as well, who are adamant about Makima saving their lives, such as Aki and Angel. Aki was a mere tool for Makima to achieve her end goal, yet he thinks of her as being somewhat of a savior. When he backs out of his revenge plan with the Gun Devil so that he can protect his new family, Makima brings him right back in, by saying Denji and Power are still required to participate. She's aware of what Aki's intentions are and how he views her, and manipulates him in such a way that ultimately leads to his gruesome downfall, where he is killed by his own family, Denji. Makima maintains this mysterious presence throughout the story and keeps roping the reader closer and closer. When I was reading Chainsaw Man for the first time, part of me wanted to believe that Makima truly was an ally, but there was always something about the way she spoke that I couldn't shake off. She knew something about Denji that no one else knew, and she always refused to answer questions about what her own plans were. She's called out by Kishibe for being a liar when she said she wants to protect people from devils, and for once, her usually unchanging facial expression carves into a smile. She distances herself from conflicts that she anticipates, even if it leads to mass destruction and death. She's dead calm, even in the most tense of situations, and does things like casually bringing out a bag of eyeballs as if it were nothing. Even on her date with Denji, her facial expressions hardly ever change while watching movies. Now, one could say that she doesn't really express her emotions on her face, but even when she cried during one of those movies, it just felt unnerving and not human at all, especially compared to what we saw in Denji, who was viewing the movie alongside her. Also, the movie does foreshadow Makima's ultimate goal, but I'll get into that later. We get to learn how big of a threat Makima is throughout the story, but it isn't explicitly told to us until the International Assassins arc, when Kishibe himself directly tells an enemy that they need to be careful of Makima listening in on them. Kishibe, who was seen as someone Makima confided in, is suddenly showing his fear of Makima. This badass devil hunter who beat the hell out of Denji and Power repeatedly and didn't really show much emotion throughout the series, was showing fear towards someone who was supposedly his ally. The events that follow afterwards can be described as nothing short of psychedelic, as we see Santa Claus go to literal hell using her dolls just so she can have a chance at killing Makima. Once all is said and done in this arc, we're left with a blindfolded Kishibe saying that he doesn't want to see a single thing at all after witnessing Makima's victory. As soon as Makima is revealed as the main villain, the story moves at light speed and wastes absolutely no time, which is very fitting for Makima, whose cunning and manipulation all led up to this very moment, where she can openly simp for the Chainsaw Devil. Bring out the Chainsaw Devil. Makima forces Denji to kill his own big brother Aki in the most gruesome way possible, as he forces him to become the Gun Devil Fiend. After this traumatizing event, Denji begins to lose pleasure in life and completely blames himself for Aki's death. While this happens, Makima once again appears in front of Denji to console him for the last time. Much to her delight, Denji reveals that his wish is to become Makima's dog. Once Makima realizes that Denji's spirit and mental state are near the edge, she decides to deliver the killing blow. Well, not to Denji, but to Power. Well, I guess to both. She reveals her plan to raise Denji's happiness and take it all away from him. She then gaslights Denji into thinking that he was the reason Aki and Power, the people he loved, were dead. She even convinces Denji that he doesn't deserve a normal life because he killed his shitty drunkard father. Once Denji has been completely destroyed in every way possible, Makima's finally able to bring out the devil she has been yearning for so many years, the Chainsaw Devil. Here, she reveals that she views people simply as dogs. As the Control Devil, she looks down on everyone and can have control of whatever she wants. She has supreme, unmoving power. She claims that she wants to use the Chainsaw Devil to remove things like world hunger, but we soon get to realize that these were all bullshit claims and that she never really cared about people in the first place. The final chapters of Chainsaw Man reveal what Makima really wanted all along, and we finally get to see how she brilliantly mirrors Denji and the pure irony of her character. Makima is jealous of Denji. She's jealous of a young man who's going through hell and back for the bare minimum and is happy about it. She's jealous of someone that had literally nothing for most of his life. Someone who ate literal garbage and sold organs to get by. The Control Devil. The devil that has the whole world in her shackles and has control over virtually anything, is jealous of a horny lad that has close to nothing. All because he is loved by the Chainsaw Devil. Complete control is a power that many people dream of, and we even see Santa Claus chase this idea of obtaining absolute control during the International Assassins arc. Yet Makima, who has absolute control, wasn't satisfied with it at all. We get to see Makima finally display genuine emotion during the last graveyard chapters, as she shows anger at who she presumed was Denji for spitting, for being chaotic, for talking, and for wearing clothing, for not being the Chainsaw Man that she envisioned. However, she fails to realize that she was talking to Pochita all along, and this led to her downfall. And this is the irony of it all. At the beginning of the series, Makima claims that she has a good nose and is good at distinguishing different people's scents. She later on tells Denji how to get intimate with someone and to memorize their features in order to get truly close with them. However, despite giving all of this advice to Denji, she fails to follow it herself. She couldn't even detect the person she had been idolizing all along and never knew Denji's scent in the first place. Once Makima's finally been disposed of, her true, not-so-evil wish was finally revealed. Like Denji, she wanted to be loved. She wanted an equal relationship. She wanted a family. The one movie she cried for when she was on a date with Denji was a display of exactly what she wanted. Someone who'd love her and shower her with a bunch of hugs. Makima claimed that humans loved her and even got multiple dogs just to fulfill this yearning, but she never did. While Denji experienced different kinds of love, from the bonds he formed with Aki and Power to the one he made with Reze, Makima was busy looking down on everyone. Unlike Denji, she completely lacked empathy and it ended up biting her in the ass. However, the Control Devil does ultimately get a happy ending, as Nayuta, the new Control Devil, finds herself receiving love and affection from Denji. She finally has the paternal figure she had always wanted, and it's from someone she can't look down on, Denji, the Chainsaw Man, thus leading to the brilliant conclusion of the Control Devil, Makima. Hope you guys enjoyed this analysis video. It's the first time I've ever done something like this, so sorry if any of my points didn't come off that smoothly or if I missed anything. This video took a ton of work to make, but I'm glad I did it. It gave me a newfound appreciation of Makima and Chainsaw Man as a whole. Makima is definitely one of the best antagonists I've seen in a while, especially in Shonen Jump. Then again, Chainsaw Man in Shonen Jump is an enigma in and of itself. Let me know if you want any more analysis videos and any specific characters. I might do an Aki video later on. Anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, have a good one. Did she just booty blast him?